Hello, hello. So today we are going to show you one of our puppies that is available. She is an OliviaXCharles baby. So her mom was 25 pounds and her dad was 32. She is an apricot, black-nosed tuxedo. She is gorgeous. Non-shedding. Both parents carry 2 furnishing genes. Definitely not shedding. I do have some hair on my shirt, but that's because I trimmed some of her hair. So what we're gonna do, and we will show you for today, is she is going to get, well, let's start over. Her siblings had just went home this past weekend. So they've already went to their new homes. When we send them to their new home, it's probably like their 3rd or 4th bath with us. Second time we've trimmed hair. We do nails about once a week, starting at 3 weeks old. But she will get bath, blow dry, her nails done, her feet trimmed, her sanitary trim, which is like her private areas, and then her eyes. And I might do, depending on, you know, if you like it or not, but I am not a fan of like the ears when they get too much longer past the leather and they get curly. I don't really like that. So I'm gonna trim up her ears too and just have a kind of like a crisp and clean cut for her. But yeah, so I'm going to take you through that, and if you have any questions, let me know. But this also is a video to help some of my families that are wanting to learn how to, you know, once their puppies due, to get like their eyes trimmed and stuff and they're not fully vaccinated. If they can do it, of course you have to make sure you have really strong, not strong, but like sturdy hands and confidence to where you want to make sure that if your puppy's kind of moving, you're not going to let the scissors poke the eye, or you're not gonna go to clip the toenail or clip the hair around the toes and clip the toe. So different stuff like that. You just have to make sure that you're confident, but also that you're aware. You have to have a strong hand. If you're like shaking and nervous, then maybe it's good to let a professional do it. But I'm here to help. Here's a good video. And yeah, so just take a peek and let us know if you have any questions. And again, she is available, and contact us for more information. So you want the water to be lukewarm. And what I like to do is, here is one of our kind of tethers that it's suctioned up here. You don't see in the video, but it's one of the suctions that goes on the wall. And this is gonna keep her in a certain area. This has gotten wet, but this is the Paltry shampoo that we use, that we like. All right, girlfriend. And since the water is warm, if it's too cold or too hot, it can make them not like it. So, but as long as it's just right, they don't mind it too much. Of course, they'll fight it at first, but they do really well. Yeah. You're a good girl. Since I have been grooming for years now, and obviously doing puppies and you know, our big dogs and stuff like that, if you don't have a shampoo that is not tearless, which usually has to be like a soap-free kind of thing, then use baby shampoo on the head if that's the case, because you do have to clean, you know, the eye area really well. So you don't want to miss out on that. So make sure that we get all the areas clean. These types of dogs, because any dogs really, are gonna get eye boogers. So we gotta make sure that those, you know, get cleaned out. For one, it can stain the fur. We don't want that if the fur is a lighter color. Or it can cause sores. So we gotta make sure that those those areas, especially on the insides of the eyes, stay clean pretty much every day. And we've done multiple baths so far, so that's why she's doing so well. And she doesn't get to run free. Now, if I let her run all over this tub, probably anxiety level will be pretty high. But we're not gonna have anxiety because she's stay put. She knows that she doesn't get to do that. She's a good girl. All right, last rinse. Girl. I'm gonna squeeze all this excess water off. Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Now you can use conditioner if you want to. This has it's itch relief shampoo, hyperallergenic, coconut and aloe. It's just a real soothing shampoo. I have used this on my puppies quite a while and I haven't had to use shampoo for them. I'm sorry, I haven't had to use conditioner for them, just the shampoo. But you can use conditioner. I have sometimes, they do have a spray-in conditioner that I've used just because I like the smell of it. And then they also have that, like, you can use kind of almost any leave-in conditioner. You just have to make sure that you don't use a lot of it because, for one, you don't want to make the hair greasy because then you'll have to bathe them sooner. Or you don't want to, you know, have that get on the coat, make the coat itchy, like the skin. Make the skin itchy. You just want to get the skin and the coat clean, and then a little bit of conditioner is fine, but it's not needed most of the time, especially in the beginning on the puppy coat. I always say just to towel dry a lot, like as much as you can. Go through with the towel, squeeze all this excess water out. Towel dry, towel dry. It'll help cut the blow drying time in half if you use towel dry quite a bit. Sometimes I'll use 2 towels. You know, get the first one and then get a freshly dry towel and do it again. You don't have to be super gentle with them. Obviously, you don't want to be mean if it's scaring them, but she doesn't mind. I'm pretty, you know, tough-handed with my puppies just because if they go to homes with children and stuff, I don't want them to be scared if they ever get grabbed or anything like that. So we start them out early, don't we? Yes, we do. You're a sweet girl. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I know, we gotta get you dry. So you can tell her coat is it's just like very damp, you know, but it's pretty dry already. Their coat's quite, you know, more thin. As they get older, it thickens up, but. So So I could let her run around for a little bit and not have to blow dry her, but for exposure and for her to get used to it, just like you see how used to a bath that she is and she's not fighting me, we're gonna run the blow dryer over her. Of course, it is more work, a little bit more time, but that's what we like to do, is exposure. All right, so now since she's mostly dry, I'm just gonna dry off where she's gonna be standing and the wall in case she leans up against the wall. Yeah. And then sometimes my water will drip out of this, so I'm gonna leave that there so it doesn't get us wet. And then usually this high power blow dryer, I put this top on for my adults and it comes out super hard. And I can change how hard or fast it comes, but I'm just gonna leave it wide open with that and let's see how she does. So again, you see I'm kind of not letting her run around, like trying to get away from it. So I'm picking her front legs up. And it's just kind of letting her know that she's all right. All right, so that is it for Miss Purple for bath and blow dry. So when we bathe and blow dry them, of course you see she did such a good job, so she's getting used to it. But the hair between their eyes gets thick. So about, was it a week or two ago? I think 2 weeks ago, was actually after the vet exam. So about a week ago, I trimmed the eyes up, trimmed the nails up, and did the feet and stuff. But what we want to do today is trim the eyes up again. I'm going to look at the ears. Some people like these little curly tips. I'm going to trim them off. I just like them to look fresh. So I'm going to trim the ears, trim the eyes. Our feet will start looking like, what's that called? Like, oh yeah, that's the microphone. The Grinch. Our feet will start looking like the Grinch, a bunch of little spriggy feet, and then to the bottom of the pads will have hair that grow out of it. So we will be tracking in different stuff where it'll get wet a lot easier and just dirty and stinky. So I'm going to shave between the pads, trim up the feet, do the toes, do the face, and then we will bring you back. All right, so same thing here. When we get them on the groom table, I have one of these just because I like it to hold them in place. So it makes them feel contained, if that makes sense. So I've got some different things that I like to use. These are my small ones that I like to use for the eyes of the puppies. So I just take and kind of rake the hair up like it's supposed to. Hold the neck because I know I got to hold her that way. And then trim. She's going to kind of move a little and look. Try to look, what is this between my eyes? We'll give her a second. Hey, good girl. Hey, good girl. We'll give her a second though to recoup. Some dogs like to be held. Some dogs will actually do better kind of not being held, but if you've not done this before, you have to make sure that your dog's not going to turn and knock their eye, you know, the scissors into the eyes. Hey. So if they fight too much and you're doing this by yourself, let me zoom out a second. Oop, that's in. And we'll see if this one works. We got a few different techniques that we use, well, that I use, just because this is what I do. So if she keeps tilting her head back, this is what I just have to do. And it's not bad, but we have to make sure that she's not going to be able to pull away. So what I can do first is kind of sit her butt on the table and then scruff her and hold her up. Then she kind of can't move her head as much, and she will learn. So this is just like, she has to quit moving for me, and she'll get better. And she's not being bad, trust me. There's more that have been bad. You're a good girl. Stay. Hey. All right, so that's pretty good on one side. So you can see this side has been trimmed and the other side hasn't. That's kind of pushing her forehead forward. So let me see again here if she'll stand for me. If she won't, I'll have to kind of do the same with the scruff. Yep, she's looking. So, and that's all right for them to wonder, but they've got to learn that they can't be doing whatever. Sometimes these don't cut as fast as we want them to. So we will use the scissors sometimes, depending on how thick it is. All right, stay. So the scissors cut the majority. Hey, you need to quit looking. We do go between the eyes as well to thin that out. Good girl. I like it to go kind of to a point in the center. And a little bit of the eyebrow right there. All right. Sorry I had to scruff you, but it's for safety. And it does calm you down. And you can see too, as we are doing this, she's getting better and better. You're a good girl. And she's not bad at all. But what I like to do is to cut here, and then cut to a point and then blend that in is the look that I like. It's just a puppy cut. So yeah, you pretty girl. All right, so I said I was gonna do the ears just because I'm not a huge fan of the curls, but I'm gonna put her in here first. And just cut some excess off. Now I've done this for years, so make sure that you don't cut the tip of the ear. Hey, stop. And again, you see me just scruffing her and holding up. Just takes a little bit of pressure off of her feet, her front feet, which doesn't allow her to pull around and fight like she wants to. All right, so that ear looks pretty good to me. I like it to look like the cut of the leather. What about the other ear, baby girl? All right, and that looks pretty good for me for her first little puppy trim. Let's zoom in so you can see it. She is cute as a button. So next, I always trim the nails before trimming the hair because you don't want the nails to be in the way of how short you can do the hair on the feet. So I'm gonna zoom out a little because I might have to, I don't know if she's gonna let me do her toenails with her sitting. Some do and some don't. She's doing a good job though. And don't let them, especially if you have scissors or a Dremel, don't let them touch their nose to it. No ma'am. Hey. No ma'am. You got to be a good girl. We're almost done. I know. And if you do have someone else to help you hold, hey, no ma'am, no ma'am, then it's gonna be a lot easier. All right, so both front feet are done. All right, so what I'm gonna do for the back feet is I am going to hold her like this. Just because I could have done the front feet this way too, but I wanted you to be able to see it You might be able to see it this way better, I don't know. And this is a Dremel, and it helps grind down the nail instead of cutting it and it being sharp. This is gonna pretty much, it's like a file, a moving file. And you definitely gotta make sure you don't go too far, but it's less likely chance of cutting the, well, obviously you're not gonna cut the quick with the Dremel, but getting to the quick. All right, so next, and we'll see how she does, we do have our wall shavers we do for the pad. What I do is I just hold with my thumb under here and just go across. We don't really try to get up in the pad, we just wanna get the access. And again, if she's gonna try to touch it with her nose, we don't want her to do that because it could shave her face hair. Hey. And it's okay to have to redirect them with how she's sitting or something like that. But hey, no ma'am. Sometimes I'll grab both feet. No ma'am. And she's not biting, but she is mouthing my arm, which she's telling me that she doesn't like it. Hey. She's like, there's something around my neck, and there's something going in between my toes, and there's something holding my feet, and you're chewing that. No ma'am. So that's it for those. She will get better, especially when this is done kind of on a regular basis. No ma'am. No ma'am. Now for female dogs, I do like to trim up, well, for males too, just the private area. Because you don't want to, so the females, for instance, every time that they tinkle, oh, sorry, baby. They tinkle outside, their little private parts are gonna hit the ground, which can make the chance of getting a UTI much higher. So we wanna make sure we keep it, you know, clean to where nothing, whatever sits there, can't go up that direction. So we want to make sure it stays, the hair stays short down there. And you can even just trim like the tip of it with scissors if you want it, if you don't want to shave. You're a good girl. All right, so then after shaving the pads like that, I put my guard on. I don't even know what size this guard is, but if you want to know, just shoot me a message and I'll figure it out. Put this guard on, fluff that up. I go up the way where the rectum is, because that's the hair that we're wanting to get shorter. And then I just run down it right to her other private area. And then I do that against the skin. And then as I'm holding the tail, I don't go all the way to the skin. I'm kind of like trying to blend the sides in that way. So it is gonna not be the prettiest. Like, it'd be nice to have a little, you know, fluffy butt, but I promise you, if you've got poop getting stuck back there and it's dirty, you're gonna be like, let's get it shorter. So we don't wanna shave it, but we definitely want to get it on the shorter side. And again, I spoke about wanting to trim up the hair around the private part. Of course, if she'd be still. Hey, calm down for me, please. And of course, I've handled these so much, so I know if you have help, it's a lot easier. But this didn't have a guard on, so if she's moving and you accidentally hit here, it's gonna take it all the way to the skin. So just make sure that your hands are pretty steady. All right, last thing is the feet. We already did the nails, so we are gonna trim. I like to use my curved scissors. I know, baby girl. So we are going to just trim the hair in front of the toes with this, just to be rounded, so we don't look like the Grinch with all of our spriggy toes. Now, I normally would not be allowing her to chew on this, and no ma'am, hey, no ma'am. And she needs to know that she doesn't need to be doing that. So that's a good example to don't just let them do things because it has them distracted. No ma'am. Like, obviously it'd be easier for her to do that, so I could be trimming her feet, but she doesn't need to get in the habit of chewing on things that's containing her. Like the leash, for instance. If she's got a leash that's holding her, she's gonna probably be wanting to chew on it, so that needs to be something that's corrected. But they learn super fast. You just have to do it appropriately and consistently. Yes, ma'am. All right, your back feet, and then we're finished, and then we'll talk about you. The back feet, and always that side's the hardest. I don't know why they want to turn. Sometimes pulling the leg out a little and then bending it, so it's like back in a normal position, makes them feel better. Like pulling it out and then bending it up. Hey, no ma'am. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's see what they look like. Do they look even? Yeah. All right. So we got your face, we got your ears, we got your feet, we got your nails, we got your tush. What else is there to do? Huh? Can you see it? Good girl. Good girl. All right. So let's go in the other room and talk about you for a minute. All right, so I know this is not the best lighting and not really the best angle, but we're gonna show her some and just kind of, are you wanting to check the camera out too? Just kind of let you know about her some. So her parents are 25 pounds and 28 pounds. She is, no, 25 and 32, I'm sorry. The 32 pound, his dad is 28 pounds. But so this is Olivia and Charles' puppy. She is the last one left in the litter. You know, I don't know if it is the time of year, if it is because of how many breeders started with COVID, you know, with breeding and stuff like that, just getting puppies during COVID time and breeding and producing a lot more. But I've never had puppies, especially this beautiful, not sold by the time they're 6 weeks old. And she just turned 8 weeks old day before yesterday. So she's ready to go. But she is gorgeous. You see, she's super sweet. And of course, and I'm moving her around and she just wants to sit here. She's already pretty used to the crate so far. You know, she eats in the crate and we leave them in there for, you know, about, you know, an hour to an hour and a half afterwards. And sometimes nap time, we'll go in there with a little treat like sweet potato. You know, if we have the hollow bones, we'll put some sweet potato in there to give them something to chew on for a little bit. She's perfect health, health-wise. Now, she does have an underbite, just a little bit. It's mild. Her canines are in the right spot. It's just the front teeth. So her canines are in the right spot, which means that it could correct on its own. It might not, but it could. I have had underbites this mild that when the adult teeth come in, it fixed theirself, didn't it? But it's just cosmetic. The bite, you know, the canines and stuff, if they were in the different area, you know, making the teeth go in certain directions, then we would worry about something, but not hers. Hers is fine. So what do you think, Miss Pris? This is Miss Purple Collar in Olivia and Charles's litter. We appreciate you watching her get her groom on and bath and blow dry and little trim up and all that good stuff. And you can notice what a good girl she is, just what good natured. And she should be around, you know, I would say 28 to 30 pounds. Shouldn't you? Yes, you should. Thank you so much. That was very nice. All right. Okay. Are you ready for a snack? You ready for a snack? Oh, thank you so much. All right. See you next time.